How's it going, everyone? My name is Bearsy, and in today's video, I wanted to discuss the biggest decision that Treyarch needs to make for the next Call of Duty Zombies. Alright, so first things first, hopefully you guys do enjoy this moon gameplay. I have so much fun playing this map, but let's dive into the video and first talk about Classic Mode. Now, Classic Mode has been a very big talking point within the community ever since it's been leaked, and ever since we had these modern gameplay mechanics within Call of Duty Zombies, and I just feel like fans of the series just want another change towards the whole entire Zombies mechanic system. Now, when we look at the modern Zombies mechanic system, I'm just going to go over quickly all the systems for you guys, but the games that it's been featured in ever since Cold War till present, which is Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, that being things like the armor system, the salvage system, crafting system, weapon rarities, and the most important thing to a lot of people out there is not starting with a pistol. And this is the biggest change right here that I really want Treyarch to do with their next Call of Duty. Personally, for me, I want the rarity system gone because I just think that just makes zombies way more complicated and way more annoying than it already has to be, because you can already pack a punch 3 times and then you have to get a gold weapon to actually do more damage. That system needs to be gone. But if you look at the core mechanic of Zombies in its entirety, starting with the pistol is the most important thing for Call of Duty Zombies, because it makes wall weapons more useful. It makes box weapons more useful. It just doesn't give you the overpowered weapon right off the bat. And this is why I feel like a lot of fans are completely annoyed with Call of Duty entirely ever since Cold War Zombies, is the fact that people are starting with something like the Maelstrom or something like the ASG, or even back in Cold War, same thing, starting with the Spaz 12. Starting off with these overpowered weapons just makes the box really redundant, and it just doesn't feel worth it using things like crate power, things like wall-to-wall clearance, or things like wall powers, because you're getting the, most broken thing right off the rip. And same thing if you're using something like the Maelstrom, you have a gobblegum in the game known as hidden power, which you can pretty much just get the best weapon. And also just use things like profit sharing, tactical diffusion, and just getting that thing to pack 3, just taking all the charm and the special out of things like the mystery box and the wall weapons. Now let's look into the future of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I feel like Black Ops 7 right now is kind of a love letter to, classic fans while giving a modern twist on it. Sure, there are some things that are still going to be broken and busted within that game. We still don't know all the gameplay mechanics within that game itself, but we do have the old crew coming back. We do have more of a BO2 style, variant system, with the maps of multiplayer and the maps of Black Ops 2. It just feels like Black Ops 2 all over again. But this one single thing right here, the biggest decision that Treyarch needs to make is keeping either the modern gameplay systems or the classic mode systems within Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and that's what I want to go into next. But I just want to say really quickly, if you guys are enjoying the video, as always, smash that thumbs up button, and if you guys want to see more Call of Duty news, leaks, guides, you name it, for Zombies, subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss it. Now let's dive back into the video. Now, classic mode is a very big talking point, as I said, within the community earlier in the video. It's been leaked several times, and all the fans that have seen these leaks, that them working on the leaks, whether that is for Black Ops 6 Zombies or Black Ops 7 Zombies, fans are super excited about it. And I just feel like, we need that change again. We've been dealing with these same modern Zombies mechanics, albeit they did change a few things from like Cold War to present, like changing, how the armor system works, and also changing, how to get your rarity and stuff like that. But I just feel like, another big change is needed to actually push this series forward, like we've already seen with the OG crew coming back. Due to the leaks, we all kind of knew that it was expecting, to happen, but we didn't know 100% sure. So a big gameplay shift, I feel like, is what the Zombies community actually needs. And what way to push this forward is going to be the classic mode. Now, do I personally think Treyarch is going to do a 1-to-1 classic mode? I don't think so personally. Do I want them to? Of course, because it really does refine the core Zombies mechanics that we used to know and love for things like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and the much beloved Black Ops 3. But what I think that they could do is make a shift, or like a hybrid mode, of modern versus classic, gameplay mechanics to actually change the gameplay just enough to make it more enjoyable, and that's what I want to dive into next. Now I want to take a look at something that I feel like a ton of players have overlooked. I might actually make a dedicated video on this because I just thought about this while making this video, and that is going to be one specific Gobblegum coming forth within Black Ops 7 confirming a feature. That is going to be Hidden Power. Now, if you guys don't know what Hidden Power it does, it pretty much allows you to get an orange rarity weapon within Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and that is going to be carrying forward to Black Ops 7. So this pretty much basically confirms the rarity system is going to be coming within Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Now, this could change at any given point. You know, like we've seen, Treyarch has just made a massive decision on not carrying forward all the items from Black Ops 6 into Black Ops 7. You know, some Zombies fans are pretty much annoyed about this because Zombies doesn't really need to be immersive. I mean, it does, don't get me wrong. I don't want my OG crew running around with Beavis and Butthead, so I'm pretty, happy about this change. But, rarity systems, unless they change it like the carry forward system, expect rarities to come. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the armor system because unlike a lot of you guys out there, I don't mind the armor system that much. I've said this in plenty of videos. I think it adds a nice gameplay loop, and especially with the enemy spam and the big boss spam, it does really add, a lot more diverse gameplay mechanics. Sure, it can be fixed, like instead of manual plating, you just automatic play it. And the armor system to me is 100% fine. I personally don't care about it. Will they get rid of it? I don't think so. But would it be nice? Yes, for an extra challenge. But like I said, I'm indifferent about this one, so I don't care if it stays or if it goes. Another big annoying thing for me within Call of Duty Zombies is the crafting station. Now, there is a diverse amount of equipment, within Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies that you can craft. Things like score streaks, lethals, and tacticals to give you an upper advantage to actually, take on bigger hordes. Now, we've seen high round challenges and Easter egg runs, strictly reliant on these things as opposed to pure gun skill. Unless you have something like the jet gun from Liberty Falls or the swords from Citadel, which is still very difficult to use, it makes high rounding less enjoyable because you can't really do all the things that you really want to do within Call of Duty Zombies. You have to rely more on the crafting station. While albeit the crafting station is nice, this is another thing that I want to go within Call of Duty Zombies because it just adds unnecessary things and side Easter egg things, like maybe you can get a mutant ejection by doing a side Easter egg, or maybe getting a chopper gunner from doing a side Easter egg, or maybe even getting a free self-revive from doing a side Easter egg. All those things that I feel like are side Easter egg worthy are just gone because they're all in the crafting station. It makes each map less unique. And another thing too, like getting Gershes and monkeys from the crafting station, it was a nice change at first, but getting them from the box really does feel more rewarding and actually is another incentive to use the box. There's another incentive to use a box, which I will segue into now. Now, the last change, and I'm not going to touch on this too much because I've already talked about it earlier, is getting rid of this stupid loadout system that we have. Or an alternative is, like I said, for the whole reason of this video, just, making a separate playlist where we can actually use a starting pistol or we can actually use loadouts. I feel like that's a balanced hybrid that I feel like Treyarch needs to bring in. If they could bring things like all these weird LTMs that we had throughout the years, like Jingle Hells, the Abomination Challenge, the Squid Game event, all these weird LTMs, I feel like they could be focusing that effort on making a classic mode permanent. Look what we have with Grief right now. We have Grief as a permanent game mode within Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Just put those efforts towards a classic mode and just make it so the player base is not divided whatsoever. They can actually pick which one, and we don't have to have community outrage for these specific things that actually come within Call of Duty Black Ops 7. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. As always, if you did, smash that thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel, like I said earlier, if you guys want to see more Zombies news for Call of Duty and also multiplayer stuff. We do everything right here on the channel. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the new editing style too. I'm trying to take everything down a notch and actually show you guys more diagrams, more just in-game footage, just raw, instead of just having me cut every 30 to a minute, just all that stuff. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. That's going to be it. This is Bearsy signing off. Stay healthy, stay clean. Bye.